So first things first, the reason my hair is so poofy is because my mum crimped it for me yesterday for Halloween because I was dressing up as a goth and it just really makes the outfit look good. So that's why it's so poofy and it feels so cool. But yeah, 2 days ago I finished the first book for the Northeast Teenage Book Award and it was Pantomime by Laura Lam. I know it's a bit of a weird cover but it's really good, honestly. So it's set in this place called Alado, which is like, it's kind of magical, but not too much. And it used to have these magical beings called Alda and Chimera, but they disappeared at one point, and the last magical remnants that are left in Alado are things called Vestige and Penglass. Vestige artifacts, they can be anything, like arrows that always hit their target, and keys that fit in any lock, and that kind of thing. The Penglass grows in like big domes in mountains, and it's blue glass stuff, but it's all misty and shadowy inside, and it sounds really cool but kind of creepy at the same time. So like throughout the cities there are just these big Penglass domes and they don't really know what they are or what's inside them, but they're kind of magical. So the storyline of this book, I want to tell you what it's about, but it's kind of hard without giving it away because there's like a big secret that's revealed about 100 pages in. And I know it's not that far in, but it's still quite a big secret that I don't want to tell you. So I'll do my best to tell you what it's about without revealing anything. There's a girl called Iphigenia Loris, or Jean for short, and she's the daughter of a noble family, so she's brought up with corsets and going to balls and being polite and being very ladylike. But she doesn't really like that kind of thing. She prefers to climb trees and play around with her brother and stuff like that. The other character is Micah Gray, who's a runaway living on the streets, and he joins the circus. He trains as the next aerialist, trapeze artist type thing. They may sound very different, but they're more similar than you may think. And yes, I know that makes it sound like a really bad romance story, but I promise it's not a romance story. There's a bit of romance in it, but it's not a romance story. I would tell you the genre, but I don't really know. Like, I guess it's kind of fantasy because of the magical stuff. But it's not like entirely fantasy, and it's not romance, and I don't really know what you would call it. It's unlike anything I've read before. It's very unique and original, and I love the idea behind it. So the writing style, it's very easy to read and understand. It's not tiring to read the book. I can read it for like 2 hours at a time without getting bored of it, which is really good. There's enough description that you know what's happening and you feel like you know what the place looks like, but not so much description that you're wading through pages and pages of it and you want the story to hurry up. So the character development is really good. The characters learn a lot about themselves throughout the book. I think that's what the book is mostly about, the characters learning who they are and who they want to be and who society wants them to be. Because they go through a lot thinking that they're not good enough and that kind of thing, and through the book they learn that maybe they are good enough and that people do like them. And they become more confident as well. Like at the start they're kind of like a bit quiet and shy and they're not really sure what to do, but as the book goes on they grow in courage and confidence and they learn more. I think that's the main thing, they learn about themselves and about other people. Good things about the book: one, it's very unique and original. I've never read anything like it, and it addresses an issue that I've never really read about in a book before. I like the idea of the circus as well, because you don't really get many circus stories, but I love reading about them. So it's nice to have a book that is based around the circus. But bad things, there's not really many bad things, but I realised that not much actually happens in the book. Like, I was trying to go through my head and think of the storyline and like what happens throughout the book, and it was pretty difficult. I couldn't think of it because there's not that much actually happening yet. Somehow it still keeps you interested. But I think it would have been better if there was more happening, so there was more of a firm storyline. Before every chapter there's like a quote from this world, like not a real quote. But I didn't read them while I was reading the book because they kind of interrupt the flow of the story and you have to stop thinking about what's happening in the story, read the quote, think about what it means, and then try and start the story again and try and pick up where you left off. It's quite difficult and I don't like it when there's quotes at the start of chapters and I never read them, so I just kind of missed them out. And then by the end of the book I didn't really understand the world they were in and the vestige and everything, and I thought, am I supposed to understand this? So I went back and I read all the quotes, and then I understood the magical world because they explain everything. So I think it would have been better if the author had managed to put what's in the quotes into the actual story, so then you don't have to interrupt the story to read the quotes and learn more about the world. So yeah, those are the only bad things I can really say about it. I think the age group is probably 13, 14 plus. It has a few rude jokes in it, but what do you expect when it's set in a circus? And I would say it's definitely for teenage readers, like no younger than 13. So my star rating out of 5 is going to be 4.5. That way round. So yeah, I think the only reason I'm not giving it 5 is because of the bad things that I said before. But it was a really good book, and I would really recommend you read it because it was very interesting and original and unique. And also it ends on a cliffhanger, which is so annoying, but I'm pretty sure the author's bringing out the sequel. I hope she is anyway, that's what I've seen online. But yeah, the funny thing about this book is, you're reading it and you're like, la 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 la, this is pretty good. And you get to the end and it's like, murder! And you're like, whoa, okay. It's a pretty dramatic ending, let me put it that way. Definitely read it if you haven't already. I think it's going to be hard for the other books to beat this one. So I now have to wait until school starts again on Monday before I can get another one out. So I'm just kind of finishing off a book that I started a while ago. But hopefully I will have another book review for you soon. So yeah, I'll see you soon then. Bye!